everybody. I'm Jaime Soretta. I'm your host of Jamie's Local Love, the podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Today, we are talking to a Valley native who is getting us clean in the makeup and beauty space. Her name is Melissa Lenburg from Citrine Natural Beauty Bar. Melissa, great to see you again.
Good to see you.
Your makeup looks impeccable.
Well, thank you. So does yours.
Yours is professional, no doubt. Tell me a little bit about your love of makeup and how this began.
Oh my gosh, it began as a little girl. I was like, my first memories, I feel like were like around like 10 or 11, like going around giving all like the neighborhood kids like little makeovers, things like that. I've just always been enamored with beauty.
Yeah.
I just can remember even like my daughter is 7, right? And she like will start sneaking into my makeup room and I'm like, no. But I think my earliest memories, I think I was more like 4 or 5 sneaking into my mother's room, like wanting to play a little bit with makeup. So
I can't let this slip. You said makeup room. Tell me about this room you have.
Yes. Well, I actually moved into a new house about a year. Thank you. About a year and a half ago. And so it's a 4-bedroom house. And so I said, one of these rooms I'm dedicating to be like my makeup and my content room where like I can film all my videos and just go in there and have like my own little space. And it's amazing to be able to have.
I mean, it's probably an R&D room too. You can make it sound a couple different ways.
Yes, right? Exactly.
Do you always buy like the new thing that they're talking about on TikTok, or how do you, I imagine you always want to know what else is out there?
I am like a forever like student and learner.
Yeah.
So I'm always wanting to know, like I do keep up with like all those trends on TikTok, wanting to know like what people are doing because I want to investigate it more and know more about it. And does it like meet my standards, things like that, right? Because I'm all about the clean beauty.
So let's talk about that because it really was a tremendous health journey for you that led you to clean beauty products. You wanted to be in the beauty space, but were having health issues. Tell me how this happened.
So basically, I grew up here in the Valley. And so for my senior year of high school, we were given the opportunity to go to vocational school. So I did. I went to EVIT and I took cosmetology and I was so good. I wanted to do hair and I was so good at it. I was like one of the best students in my class. And then I woke up one day and my wrists were so swollen. And I could barely move my hands. And my mom did a lot of digging because first it was, she's got tendonitis from maybe doing this, that, or the other. But with my mom really going and doing a lot of her own investigation, she took me to a couple different doctors. And then that's when they discovered that I had rheumatoid arthritis. And so
As a teenager.
And now looking back, like I can remember even like this was when I was 18, right? But now even looking back, I can remember as a earlier, like in my early teens, feeling some of those symptoms, but not really placing it and knowing where it was, right? And so, and you know, you're 13, you don't, whatever.
You don't even know.
Something was hurting one day, it's not hurting the next, you forget about it, right? But obviously this was something I couldn't ignore at this point. And so once I got that diagnosis, I was pretty like, what am I going to do? There is no way I can do hair having rheumatoid arthritis because you think about just like scissors and like the repetitive with your hands or even blow dries, like there was just no way. And so then that's when I really was like, okay, well, I love makeup.
Clearly.
And makeup, is not going to be as hard for me to use my hands.
You still use your hands.
You still use your hands, but it's not as a hard, you know what I mean?
Like blow drying. You're
exactly.
doing like the blow drying
that is
motion.
like really,
grinding.
really like grinding of the rest. And then I left. I did leave Arizona for a little bit.
I did too, but I came back home.
Yeah, we always do a little stint away, right? We got to see what else is out there in the world, and then we have the appreciation, and we come back. But I went over to LA and I studied in a studio to do professional makeup artistry. Did the whole LA thing and working on sets.
How was that
stuff? It was fun and it was super exciting. It's an experience that I'm super appreciative of because not only did I learn a lot of skills in terms of beauty, but I learned a lot of other things. I learned a lot of stuff about marketing from being around people that I feel like gave me a leg up in terms of now being a business owner. And then ironically, I happened to move into my first apartment like really close to like a Whole Foods. And I mean, I'm 43. This is like when I was like probably like 19 at this point. So it was a long time ago. And so like, that's just where I naturally grocery shopped. So I like got into that little like LA movement of like healthy eating and like all of the things, but I didn't really start to realize what was in like the beauty products until a couple years later. So I feel like, you know, like just my whole being there kind of drew me into another journey, you know?
There were a couple little signs.
Exactly.
Like, this will mean something to you later.
Exactly.
Exactly. Kind of paving the way in some ways. And was it a major health scare that made you look at your makeup?
Yeah. So, I mean, I had rheumatoid arthritis, right, which is an autoimmune issue, but then I also had problems with PCOS, which is like more hormonal. And so when I started looking at makeup and started realizing that just like food, you know, not everything is great all the time. I kind of went on this own journey of myself of like, I want to switch out all of my stuff. So that's kind of how it started. It was like, I'm going to switch out all of this stuff. I ended up moving back here just because my health was not great at the time.
Home is a great place to heal.
Home is a great place to heal. And so kind of went through this whole process where I redid my whole beauty journey, which was a lot, you know. I'm a
lot of products, a whole room.
I'm a beauty maximalist. I just always have been. So like went through that, and then was out here. I was working for my dad, not doing beauty, you know. And
finance. What were you doing?
I was my dad's business. He did like a remodeling business with countertops and granite and all of that. And so I was designing. I was making good money. My dad is amazing. He's an amazing business owner and definitely like one of my mentors as well. And so I made really good money doing that. And it was like, okay, well, I've made some money now. I have some things going on, but this isn't my passion. So like I've kind of healed myself in a lot of ways. I've gotten my health to a really great point. Like,
how long did that take?
I feel like it's a while ago, but maybe like five-ish years.
Yeah.
Of really starting to get into taking a more natural approach to my health journey. I'd say actually integrative, because at the time I still was seeing like, you know, a Western doctor, but then I was also seeing a naturopath. So I really believe that health, like there's a place still for like hospitals and Western doctors and all of the things. We need all of those things. But I think that we also have to recognize alternative modalities and, you know, Eastern medicine and stuff like that, because I think that when they intertwine, that's like the beauty of it, right? It really clicks in and it works. So I took a more integrative approach to my health. I switched out all my beauty products, which I feel like then kind of that made the biggest change, not only in my autoimmune, because I wasn't burdening my system so much, but also in all of the hormonal issues that I was having. Because what we don't realize is that most of our beauty products have a lot of endocrine disruptors in there, and they're messing with our hormones.
Oh my gosh.
So it all kind of is related. And so I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew I wanted to do something. And I was like, do I go back to LA? What does this look like? And so I took a little trip to Sedona with a friend, just not having like that I was going to like meditate or do anything crazy on this trip. It just went up there, and it was like I was sitting at this rock, and it just like all came to me. It was like, I need to open a store. I need to tell people like about what I've learned about beauty products, like, you know. And at the time, I mean, this was over almost 14 years ago. Like, clean beauty, natural beauty isn't where it was at today.
Right.
And so like women that were more glam like me weren't like necessarily like in that space. And I'm like, okay, I feel like I want to show other women that you can still like have all of the things and you can still be glam and you could all of that, but you don't have to expose yourself to like all of these like chemicals that are not great for you.
Every single day.
Every single day.
Right.
Yeah. And so from there, I was like, it came to me instantaneously. It was like, I'm going to name it Citrine. I was holding a little crystal of Citrine. And I'm like, okay. And I drove, when we came back, instantly saw an article in the paper that Biltmore was opening a space called the Union, where they were going to have local shops that had a smaller footprint to kind of give them this opportunity. And being a Valley native, I mean, the Biltmore is like, that's a big deal. You know what I mean?
Yes.
At the time I was like 30, I was like, oh,
Icon,
I could have a store at the Biltmore. What? You know,
Yes,
I want to do this. So, they didn't want to let me in at the Biltmore. They kind of, I was their last pick, but
but most determined. And you're still there today.
And I'm still there today. And so it was really fun. It was a great opportunity. My first space, I want to say, was like 200 square feet. It was really tiny. Yeah. But my dad helped me, being a contractor. Yes. He made it beautiful. He helped me plan it out. And we just had this vision. And no offense to any of the other tenants that were in the union, because I love them all, but I had the most gorgeous space there. And it just really stood out. And I knew right away, though, that like being in the Biltmore, yes, was a big deal. But I also, like, coming from that background, working around people in entertainment, I knew that I needed to like get marketing. So right away, I like got PR and tried to get on the news and really spread the word of my business. And it really fast-tracked things, I think, for me.
And the Biltmore is part of your clientele as well, as people who are very aware, like you living by the Whole Foods.
Yes.
You know,
totally.
They're making those decisions and wanting to live better and have longer lives, and are looking at some of those products with a harder eye, too.
Yes. Although I have to say, when I first started, you know, women would come in and they would be like, what is this about? And I would talk to them and they would just look at me like I was like speaking gibberish, because people, you know, this movement, especially, I feel like in the last 5 years, has grown tremendously. But when I started, I mean, this will be 13 years in November, it just was like people were not getting the concept. And so I feel like I had to do a lot of educating, but I did that. And I have customers that have literally shopped with me since day one and remember this whole journey. And it's really cool because I got to take something that I was so passionate about, which is the beauty industry, and put such a significant meaning behind it. Because yes, I sell beauty products, but it's so much more than that, because we really do educate and empower each woman that comes into our door about making like better choices. And I feel like that just gets everybody feeling more conscious in everything that they're doing in their life.
I feel like you're the mama bear of clean beauty out there, because you've done all the research.
Yes.
I don't want to do the research, Melissa. I want to come to you and say, you know, I don't know about this product. I need something better. What is it? And
exactly.
You've done the R&D in your makeup room.
Yes, in my makeup room.
Yes. And you've studied the ingredients, and you look hard at those ingredients.
I do.
And things that don't make sense to me. Is there an ingredient that you just wish we'd never put on our face again?
Fragrance.
Why?
Fragrance.
Why?
So artificial fragrance is... So basically, people can hide behind that ingredient. So there can be like thousands of ingredients in that one word because it's proprietary. Yes. They don't have to disclose this. Okay. And so fragrance is, I just really believe, like, if it's easy, it's an easy thing for people to look at it on labels too. It's right. I'm not giving you some clinical name.
Right.
Like, if it says fragrance and it doesn't say that it's natural from essential oils, like all of that stuff, I just avoid it. Because you don't know. You don't know what it could be. And I don't think we really realize how harmful it is to our health. I know people have such an attachment to fragrance, right? It brings back memories. It's like, oh my gosh, I love this one perfume because my, you know, so-and-so used to wear it, and it makes me think of them. And I totally get it. But I'm telling you, it's one of the worst things you could be doing.
What if we put it on the clothing?
A lot of people will say that.
No,
yeah, because they're like,
it sounds like a no.
Okay, so I mean, for me, it's a no. Personally, I wouldn't. You know, just like given how I've like healed my body, it's not something I would do personally. And I think that there's so many clean fragrance brands starting to emerge that have.
And you have some at Citrine.
I have some.
Okay, so just come see you.
Come see me. But, you know, if you have that one nostalgic fragrance that's just whatever, then yes, just spray it on your clothes. Don't put it on your body.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because you and I, before we started this podcast, we were talking about my eye journey, my health journey. And one of them was an eye drop that I became allergic to that whitens the eyes.
Yep.
And I did all kinds of tests. I mean, I went to 10 doctors. They thought I had an autoimmune disease, the whole shebang.
Yep.
I mean, the things I was told about my health, things can get really serious as far as what they say you have. And one of the things that I did the allergy patch test, which it was an eye allergy, which is going to be more sensitive to things, but we did the back of my back. And one of the things was fragrance. That was on my list. Yep. And then actually Skin Safe is an app that the Mayo Clinic has. And I've had some success with them. You can even email them too. But when it comes to things like that, you're not even aware that you're in something that could be dangerous.
Yeah, because I mean, you see the word fragrance, right? But like I said to you, like it can have thousands of ingredients behind it, microplastics, things that have phthalates. Those are just like, they never leave the system. They can have forever chemicals in there, So it's just like, and I see so many young girls now. Oh my gosh, we were just on vacation over in Coronado, and we saw a lot of girls from where my daughter goes to dance that are a little bit older. They're like 10.
They're certainly wearing makeup, right?
Oh, they are on a kick, and they're all using this artificial fragrance stuff. And I just was like, I'm trying to tell them and educate them, but it's still like, as much as clean has gotten big, I mean, the mainstream, it always takes over. Yeah. So, if there's any moms out there or anything like that listening, if you can really, especially teenage girls, because it's going to disrupt their hormones. It will. So if you could try to limit it or get something more natural, that is best.
And you say this from personal experience, because go ahead and tell people what the doctors told you.
Yeah. So basically I was told that I could never get pregnant, that I was like in basically perimenopause, like all of the things. Like I was like probably 34, 35 when somebody told me that. And then I had been living such a clean lifestyle for so long that I mean, my theory is like I basically healed my body. They told me this was never going to happen. And then slowly, like, my body came back online. I started getting a period again. Things started happening for me. And then I got pregnant with my daughter and I had a daughter. So I truly believe that the body can heal. But I think the less things that you can expose yourself to, the better.
Isn't it amazing? Because there are so many things that, well, from my perspective, I'm a woman, so I know the things that a woman puts on her body. I think of the spray tan I use on my body.
Yep.
I think of I have no nails on. I think of I'm using the press-ons now, the glue that I put on my body, the eyelashes, the hair that you clip in, just every single element. This is one more thing that's adding a layer of who knows what.
Exactly.
We don't know what it technically is all the time. So it's important to take a hard look at those things, especially if you're going through a health journey.
Yeah. And focus. I always tell people, like, especially for women, like beauty is something we can control, right? Mm-hmm. Like thinking about like food, right? I think we all know that we need to be a little bit more conscious with our food, even if, you're not doing that wholeheartedly, you kind of know. But like for me, example, when I go shop, I shop pretty much all organic. I try to get all the best things, right? But if I'm out to dinner with a girlfriend, am I going to be like, okay, is this organic? Is this grass-fed? Is this all the things?
You're not that customer, thank you.
I'm not that customer. I know what it is, but I'm doing well most of the time, right? And I can't really control that narrative there, so I just bless it and keep it pushing,
Yes.
But with beauty, it's like once you find things that work for you, it's so easy. Yeah. You can just put it in the back of your head. It's like, I know what I use. Here it is, And I think we're just going to see, like, now we see so many things like the Clean at Sephora and so many other big box retailers getting behind this movement. I think that will be more of it to follow.
My niece is a teenager and she has gotten into the makeup and she loves the clean stuff. She will research everything before she buys it for us, for our birthdays or whatever. And then this is something obviously that you have done at the expert level.
Yep.
Are there certain brands that you love? Are we going to be paying more for those, those cleaner pieces?
So I feel like that also comes up. And I think it just depends. Like if you're used to using something from Walgreens, I mean, I don't sell that in my store, but I'm not a drugstore. You know what I mean? I consider myself a luxury beauty retailer.
Yes.
So I carry more luxurious items.
Right.
And with that, there sometimes is a price tag, but I mean, like I have one of my favorite products in my store is a face cream. I just love a really good rich face cream, and it's $230, right?
Yeah.
But before I was using that, before I knew about clean, I was going and I was buying La Mer, and that was $275 a jar. So no, I don't really think there's a price difference.
Yeah.
I don't think that you're paying necessarily an upcharge because it just depends. You know, you get what I'm saying, but I feel like for people that are used to like buying CoverGirl, and if they come in, then there's going to be a price difference.
There'll be a sticker shock.
Yeah, but it would be the same thing if they went into Sephora and tried, more of a department store, higher end brand.
Yes.
Exactly.
But you're also making a commitment to your health as well. It's just like we make the organic purchases over the others. So we're making a commitment to our health. And when you were sitting on this rock in Sedona, I see you just saying, I see you on an overlook where you can see into town, and you just want to tell all the people what you know and what you've experienced and how you're living healthier. And so now you have this space and you really welcome people into, maybe I've got $30 in my pocket today because, my car just got out of the shop in reality, so I've got $30, but that's $30 that I could buy maybe something I could slowly start changing out my products. And you guys are all about welcoming us in and having conversations.
Yeah. And I always tell people you don't have to like come in and scrap everything all at once, although some people are just like adamant about doing that.
It must be fun. That's a good day.
That's a good day, and that's fine too. Yeah. But you can slowly just start replacing things out as it goes. And we were really talking before this, but like our body keeps a score, and it's all about a toxic load, right? Like, so it's like what you can handle. And so making conscious choices about some things that you can control is really important, because we live in a world where you're going to be exposed to things. Yeah. And am I perfect? Even me? No, I'm not. None of us can be. Yeah. Not in the world that we live in. So just doing our best when we can, I think, is the most important.
Yeah. Well, it gets to a good foundation.
Yes,
for
totally.
Sure. So when we walk into your store, it's so aesthetically pleasing. You just feel clean. It smells good too. Tell me about what you have there, what that experience is like. Oh, there's the full Citrine Experience as well. Experience. Yes, please tell me more.
So, when I had my small little space, like, every woman that came in, if I could, I would sit them down and I would give them this whole experience, right? I would really talk about their skin, their goals, really educate them on why clean is important. And I just was kind of like, that's like kind of the foundation and the standard of who we are. So then I just started calling it the Citrine Experience, and I started training all of my girls that came in to work with me to give every customer what I call the Citrine Experience.
Which means?
It means to empower them, to educate them. We sit them down, really talk about like where they are on their beauty journey, where they want to be, and then we give them a nice little mini facial. We get their makeup done, and you just leave glowing and feeling beautiful. And I think the biggest difference for people is they always they have a huge smile on their face when they leave, because it makes a big difference when you can really connect with like products that are a little bit more closer to Mother Nature. I'm looking at the picture behind you. Closer to Mother Nature, you know what I mean? Yes. It just feels better. Yeah. It's vibrationally better.
Yeah. Out of the earth.
Exactly.
Out of the earth.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think since COVID, people have been really looking at what's in their things that they're putting in their body, period.
Yes.
So it's definitely, what people are interested in right now.
Yep.
Is there something that you love to put in our body as far as if it's on our skin? I mean, you think of like the sunscreen every day, or is there a product or ingredient that you really like?
I mean, there's so many, to be honest with you. But I mean, I think obviously here in Arizona, everybody should be using sunscreen.
Yes.
And using it right, because you can like overdo it. We all are then vitamin D deficient, right? But making sure that you're not using a chemical sunscreen, which there's a lot of controversy on at the current moment. But I'm going to stick to what my standard is, and that is to do like more of a mineral-based sunscreen. it's just going to be a healthier option for you. And it's better for people that have sensitive skin as well too. And then now what I'm really actually excited about that I'm starting to see more in the clean world is I have just always been obsessed with clean skincare. I mean, makeup obviously, of course too, but skincare. And so you'll see like with other brands that are maybe not clean, they're starting to use stem cells. They have more peptides, things like that in there.
These words.
These little buzzwords.
So they have weight. So these are, because you hear all these things, you don't know what's real, what's not. So stem cells and peptides are real.
Okay. And now we are seeing so much of that in the clean space.
Yeah.
And so I'm really excited to see how that's going to continue to grow.
Yeah. Are people, it seems like, I mean, there's so much out there. When I was a kid in college, we weren't doing the mini fridge full of skincare.
I know, right? These girls have they've taken it up another level, Jamie. They really have. Trust me. I've been witnessing it. Yes. Which I think is so fun, right? But I mean, my message and like, you know, when I see these girls, I mean, they're already like talking about retinol and they're like 11. I'm like, no. Like no. So I want, if you're 10 and 11 and you want to use makeup, fine. But let's start you with things that we know that are going to be good for your skin and that are going to, you know, just enhance your natural beauty.
Right.
You know?
You had talked about what you learned in LA about marketing and watching your Instagram. You're all about creating your own content.
Yes.
So how did you learn how to be in that role of walking into the store or doing? Yeah, I mean, your main character energy. How do you do that?
Well, you know, I've had to learn along the way because obviously, I mean, having this business now almost 13 years, like Instagram wasn't even a thing, you know. And then when it was, like maybe like a year into my business, it was just photos. But I knew I needed to get on it. I mean, you know, otherwise you get left behind.
Yeah.
And so I just put myself out there because it's all fun.
Yeah.
It's fun to me. Creating and like doing that is fun.
Yeah.
And so I know a lot of business owners, and I mean, even myself sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't sign up to be a business owner, a content creator, all of these things. But I reframe that in my own head and I'm like, okay, so my job right now is to create this like content. I get to like do my makeup on camera or, you know, play out some like fun trend that's happening right now. Like, how lucky am I? You know what I mean?
For sure.
How lucky am I? And how amazing is it? You know, I know social media can go either way, but how amazing is it that we get to have social media, especially as small business owners, to be able to put ourselves out there. It's a free way, other than your time, to be able to communicate, to advertise, to get new customers, all of that.
Educate.
Yes. I mean, you name it.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I give that main character energy. And I
yes, you do,
love
girl.
it.
Yes, you do. It's very fun to watch. I love seeing your content.
Thank you.
And then tell me about the big bags, the citrine bags.
Yeah. So I started doing this thing like probably about 5 years ago called Glam Bag. And so my business started to be a little bit more split. So I'd say at the time I was probably about 70% in store, 30% online. So that's a decent split. And so I'm like, okay, I have these women ordering from me that live in like Kansas and places like this where, you know, they
were finding you.
Yeah, they were finding us through that main character energy on social media. And so we wanted to create like a bag where it's like a gift with purchase. And it just has a bunch of the different brands in there and they'll put in different things so they can discover their next like clean beauty, like it product for them.
Right.
And so we do those a few times a year and they're super fun. And my staff, you know, it's one of these times where we actually filmed this one social media video. It was like before Glam Bag and like the day of we like are all showing up, we're caffeinated, we're all excited, ready to go. And then the second day we walk in and we're like barely hanging on by a thread. They're really busy, fun days for us. But it's a great way for us to reach more people and for people to discover like that next product.
What do you think has been one of the hardest challenges as a business owner?
Ooh, okay. One of the hardest challenges as a business owner, I would say, is probably being able, like, willing to take those risks, right? Like, even we were just talking about like social, right? So like putting yourself out there is a total risk. Like it could get 2 likes or it could get 2,000 likes, and just like not being attached to the outcome of things and doing what feels good for you, I think is my biggest thing. Like I need to do the things that light me up, and I feel like not being attached to what that outcome is makes it where then it's just a vibrational match to keep that goodness coming in. You know what I mean? Because I'm doing what I love, and that's going to attract more of that.
And I mean, clearly I'm all in on that idea. With local love, I always say I love the business owner. Yeah. It's the owner I connect with. And then because of their passion, they usually, now I'm in on the clean makeup, because of what you tell me and your passion for it and your education for it and how intensely it worked for you and you want it to work for others.
Yes.
That passion is, no one can do it but the business owner.
But the business owner, yeah. And I had another interview with somebody a couple weeks ago, and we were talking about this, and they were like, what's the one advice you would give a business owner? And I'm like, it has to be something that you're passionate about. You cannot start a business just thinking it's going to make you money. Sure, you could get lucky sometimes, but you have to be passionate about it, because you're going to have to work the business in those first few years like it's nobody's business. You know what I mean?
But yours,
exactly. Because I mean, and thankfully with me, I had my daughter when I was 2018, so 6 years into business. So I had already done a lot of that legwork. I mean, being there 7 days a week, 12-hour days, all of that. But it never felt like work because like you said, I wanted to just shout it from the rooftops to people because it is what I'm passionate about.
Right. And you have knowledge that has helped you, and you want those other people to experience it as well.
Exactly.
So we appreciate that.
Thank you.
When you're not working passionately 24/7, what are you doing? How are you enjoying our Arizona?
With my daughter. She has tons of activities. She's doing all of the things. And just over this weekend, my friend he's local here. He's a filmmaker, and he has a business where he is bringing in like people that can't, I'm not explaining it properly, but he has a 501c, like
it's a nonprofit.
He has a nonprofit where he's teaching people how to do filmmaking.
Oh, cool.
And so he had her in a little movie. So I'm very active as a mom. And then obviously we love to just explore, go to Sedona, all of the things. We just live in such a beautiful landscape. I mean,
do you have a favorite place around town to dine or to go to or to?
So I was just telling the ladies out in the lobby as I was waiting, they were talking about ice cream, and I'm like, you guys have to try Allura Gelato. It's my favorite.
What is it called?
Allura Gelato.
Where is it?
It's on 68th and Shea, like Scottsdale Shea area. They have a cute little story, and it's they traveled all through Europe and they learned how to make gelato, and they brought it here, and it's all natural.
Amen.
I mean, it fits
to the choir.
It fits the Citrine standard, and it's delicious. So you can find us there every weekend. So you could probably spot us there because that's like our go-to place.
Gosh,
we love it.
But that's great to know. So we love supporting local around
here. Exactly.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Melissa, what a treat to see you.
Thank you.
We ask all of our viewers and listeners, if you have some questions, Melissa's there.
Yes.
She wants to answer your questions. You can reach out on the gram. We're going to put your website up. Stop in with the Biltmore Fashion Park and have the Citrine Experience.
Please
do.
And
just ask some questions, because education's where it's all about, like what it's all about.
Exactly. And I mean, I love all the questions. So, so
keep them coming.
Keep them coming.
Melissa, thank you.
Thank you, Jaime.
Thanks for listening to Jaime's Local Love, the podcast. I'm your host, Jaime Serretta. Our technician is Tom Heidinger. Our editors are Lorraine Shearing and Gina Coy. Do you know a business worthy of some local love? Email me at jserretta@azfamily.com. Follow us at facebook.com/Serretta and Instagram @Serretta News. Make sure to subscribe and give us a 5-star review, please. And tell your friends about the podcast and the businesses we feature to show your local love. You can find us on Apple, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, and anywhere you get your podcasts.
Jaime's Local Love, an Arizona's Family Originals podcast.